What's up, team? Hey, it's Kelli France here, and we're pumped for this team training today. I've got Nicole Wilkins joining us.
Hey!
She's going to be talking to us about making your. Okay, I gotta say it again. We were going back and forth on so many topics.
I know we were. Treat your online biz like a boutique.
Treat your online biz like a boutique. And I mean, thank you for helping me out with that. I'm a hot mess. Like, I am leaving to Utah in right after this call, no joke. And then yesterday I started a batch of laundry and it was empty. And I washed an empty batch of, like, I filled up the detergent and I just pushed the button and I was like, yep, I got those going. And then I went to open it and I was like, there's nothing in here. Anyway, I'm losing my marbles, but Nicole's not, guys. And Nicole's going to be speaking to us today. We're really excited to hear from you. And I get to see you next week.
I
know. Leaders retreat. So that'll be super fun. So Nicole is I'm going to have you, before you jump in on that topic, which I'm super passionate about. I used to kind of preach this when I was a photographer. I used to preach that same kind of topic of making your online business be like a boutique photographer, and, you know, having it all be about the experience. So I'm excited to see how you apply this to Color Street. But can you share a little bit about your Color Street journey before you hop into that?
Absolutely. So I have a little bit more of a twist to a story on how I got started. So I didn't, a lot of people sign up for financial purposes. Some people just really love the product. I was a little bit of more of an emotional response in joining. So I loved getting my nails done. I'm one of those that since high school, I've always got my nails done when I could afford it. And then especially after having baby number 2, it was something that just made me feel good because it didn't matter how big my belly was or how, the stress of being a new mom. In general, I still got my nails done to make me feel better about myself. And then, but my son, my second born, had feeding issues. So I would be at the salon, and the longer it would take, the more anxious I got. So I decided I just got to stop this. And plus, we decided for me to stay home because of all the feeding issues that he had. So I decided that was an expense I just wasn't going to spend, or the time going. So needless to say, 2 weeks later, we're invited to a black tie event. And I'm like, well, I have to have my nails done, but I just gotten them off, the gels or the S&S, whatever, off. And I was like, I can't go back to it's addicting. I'll just start doing it all over again.
Yeah.
So Ashley Doddridge, I taught with her many moons ago, and she was selling. So I sneaked on her page. I didn't even do a buy 3 get 1 free. I bought 2. So silly. They arrived on August 17th, and I put them on at midnight after my kids went to bed, and I woke up the next morning. I was super excited about it. I told my husband the first thing that morning on August 18th, oh my gosh, look at my nails. These are so great. As the morning went on, I kind of remembered that day was actually my brother's birthday, and my brother had passed away 11 years ago at that time. So it was the first time in 11 years I woke up without thinking about him. And it was like, oh my gosh, these nails. So as the day went on, I called Ashley to start talking about, what it would take to join and all that stuff. And I didn't necessarily need the money at the time, but it was approaching. My second was 9 months. So I went out of work for 9 months already. So I was like, well, it could be something, but more than anything, it was like, oh, I'll make Starbucks money and I won't feel guilty about it.
Yes.
So I joined that day we switched over to the new VO. So I joined a couple days after the switch, but I have like a whole different story. So to me, it was like sent from heaven to come to join Color Street.
That's such a cool story. I love that. That's amazing. I love that it was on like your brother's like anniversary and all that, and that it's like, it blesses our lives in so many ways. Like, it's a good, I mean, not only we have amazing nails now that like I literally can't get over every time I do my nails. Like, I mean, come on guys. And these are these are 2 weeks old. I've been ready to switch them. But it's just like, we have amazing nails. We don't have to go to the salon unless we want to. I mean, like these are over acrylics. So I go to the salon, but then I put them over acrylics. And then it can like, for me, it's a nice distraction from like madness of motherhood. And then we're bringing in income for our families, like so
Yeah,
many blessings.
absolutely. So
Uh,
obviously my goals have changed. I can afford more than Starbucks at this point in time, but it's because I treat my biz like a boutique. So I can get into that too.
yeah, hop in. Let's hear it.
So I'm going to be my clip. So anyways, I'm going to be doing this more like a Kendra Hall storytelling type of thing because yes, I love that. When I was listening to her at conference, I was just like, oh, this is so me because I taught actually. So I'll go backwards. So growing up, I was a product of a parent with a single mom with 3 kids, and my dad wasn't around, but my mom wasn't that great either. So starting at 14 years old, I started working at my best friend's restaurant. So that turned into a 16-year career on top of, which helped me get through college, and I did that all by myself. And I started teaching at 22 years old with a double major in elementary and special ed. And so just the work, get to the next level. And here I am as a teacher, but I still needed that extra income. So I waited tables for 16 years. I taught a total of 12 years. So do the math on how much experience I have in customer service, and then also being presenting and learning a lot about children and how people interact and work. So a lot of that has given me some experience, but not sales experience. So my storytelling more is how I close the deals or make the sales and things like that. So going into that, so because I started working at such a young age, I had to create a budget for myself, which is very difficult for a 14-year-old making income to say, well, clothing can only be this amount of money. So for example, my jeans, I would not spend more than $20 on a pair of pants, and I refuse to spend more than $10 on a shirt. Shoes, you can forget about it. My favorite pair of shoes were Reebok Classic White because they were $35 and I could replenish those as needed. And these were my guidelines all the way up literally until after even I graduated from college. My husband is the one that actually had to break me out of that because I still am in the mindset of I don't want to spend that type of money on personal care. So going back to that, when I would go shopping, it's TJ Maxx. It was Anywhere Discount. I would go straight, streamline, go right back to the clearance section. I graduated from some of the discount stores to Express only because I'm not a fashionable person. So I just rely on them. Just like I rely on Color Street to keep my nails on trend, I rely on certain stores to keep me on trend because that was never a passion of mine because I needed to make sure that I could pay my bills, not look good all the time. So I didn't go to all these stores. I'm not fashionable. But because of Color Street this past year, my friend was getting married in Cancun, and I needed something to wear for her wedding. It was kind of off season. So I needed to start shopping around, and I started branching out to other stores beyond department stores. And I found myself going to a boutique. So I would go into these boutiques and I would pick out some clothes. They are taking them from me, not allowing me to walk around with them. They're putting them in the dressing room for me. And I get there and I get inside the dressing room ready to try on these clothes. And I whip out my camera because I rely also on my sister-in-law and my 2 nieces. I have one that's 24 who's right now a designer for Chico. So I rely on her to tell me what looks good on me and what doesn't. So I'm in here about to take a selfie and I get a knock on the door and it's, hey, how's it going in there? What's it look like for you? Let me see. I'm sure you look great. Come on out. So I come out and she's like, oh my gosh, that looks great. Or she'll tell me something that didn't look right. And then she'll accessorize for me and like all of these things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I'm not used to this type of treatment going into TJ Maxx. So it was a different experience for me, and it started having me reflecting on, because I was already in the nail biz, but had me reflecting on this is the type of treatment that I also think that my customers would like as well, and I feel like I do that. So how it kind of transfers to that online business part is in your VIP groups and in your parties, obviously. So one of the things that new downlines from me often say is that I'm posting please show me your nail fees, or please show me this. And nobody's responding. And I said, well, first of all, you have to make this a safe space for women to want to share, because we as women, a lot of us are really insecure. So we don't want to always share things that we might be insecure, especially the first time you do your nails. Mine did not look perfect. I don't know about anybody else's, but I'm sure they were not perfect. And especially in parties, they're not going to show their sample because they know that they know that they could do better the next time, but the first one's not always that great. So I always tell people to post something that's not about fashion, that's not about something that people can feel insecure about. I get the most responses in my group on how do you like your bacon, or how ripe is your banana.
So true. The most random things. That's what they love.
So
relates to that. Like if we're really dissecting it, it's because everybody has an opinion about bacon. You know what I mean?
Right.
But not everybody's into fashion or beauty,
right.
whatever. And so it's like those random things.
Right.
It's an easy way to connect.
And they'll start sharing more once they don't feel like they're getting bashed for their opinions. Sure. So making that safe space. So everyone that posts a nail fee, or I don't know about you guys, but when I first started, I was getting text messages and messages with nail fees. Oh my God, I love these. But I was like, share it to my page. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, please share it to my page. So a lot of times we're just insecure about that first application. So I made it from day one, every nail fee that gets put on my page gets a comment, it gets a compliment, gets a comment. And then I'm using those tools that I know about going to that boutique to now accessorize. So say it's somebody that only does the solid colors, and they posted a nail fee with London Calling. Then I'm going, oh my gosh, would you like an accent nail of Shangri-La? And I'm throwing it in the mail as soon as I can, because like you just said, these nails last so long, they're going to get that accent before their manicure is over, and they can slap it on. And then now I've just created an avenue for them to try something new without an extra expense, or just branching out, something that I wouldn't have gotten if I was going to still TJ Maxx and shopping. So just certain little things like that. I have a little notes here because I ramble, so I didn't want to ramble too much. So creating that safe space.
Do you send, so I'm going to interrupt you with a question. Do you send, I like to send a sample as a thank you, but do you wait until they post it to send a sample, or is that, what's your system for thanking the customer?
Luckily I live in an area, for some reason I used to get, before becoming executive, I got a lot of random orders. So I always, if I get a random order, it's a handwritten note and accent nails, just to say thank you for joining. And then with my business card that has my Facebook on there, that has my phone number, my email. And then I also mention that I do home parties. So they know that, I mean, a lot of times when people go online, they're not realizing, or they go straight to online, they're not realizing that we're a person. So I do that. I always give out samples for anybody that are testers, not for anybody that is a random order. Thank yous come through my, this is pretty typical, the early bird specials. They get accent nails if they order ahead of time. And I keep a plethora of testers so that when I'm looking at their order, I find a match that they can use and utilize right away. So then they're already in love with the accent nails. So then when I do them for prizes, that's something that they want.
When you say order ahead of time, are you talking about like a pre-order?
Yes, So the early bird specials that are on some of the templates that we have, it's the 24 hours before the party starts. If they place their order before that party starts, I give them 2 accent nails. But I personally look, and I go live 24 hours before the party too, and do a live application. And then I also tell them what to expect from the party. And then anybody that places that order will get the 2 accent nails. And I show them that I have a whole bunch of different ones too. I also send out our testers with, I have a sample request form on a Google Doc that this is all a lot of common knowledge that a lot of all of you wonderful uplines have created before me. So I'm not saying anything too new, but I don't know who started it, but Ashley made sure that I had that getting started too, was that sample request form that I can keep track of people's addresses and contact information. And then as soon as they fill that out, I send them an accent nail to try before the party starts. So
nice.
but in my group, I use them all the time for giveaways as well.
That's smart. I think never underestimate the power of a twosie.
No, not at all. Not at all.
We get them in bulk, and like, but for a customer, it's a big deal to get, those finger testers. So
yeah, we get questions a lot, and even from my downlines, if we sell them as just online. I'm like, no, right. And I don't want them to ever sell them because that's my power right there. Don't take away my
it's a great price. It's expensive to ship,
Right, exactly. So another topic of how to be able to keep this like a boutique. One of the things that's kind of unlike a boutique is that you want to make this a space that is not. Oh, okay. One of the greatest thing about our product is that it doesn't discriminate. There's no size, there's no ethnicity, there's no big, huge, what am I looking for? Economical diversity that needs to take place in order for us to wear these nails. Everybody has fingernails. So that was something that was very attractive for me to want to join, because this isn't how fit you are or how clear your skin is or anything like that. It was everyone has fingernails, and then if they don't exactly fit right, we have hacks for that. So unlike a boutique, as far as the economical part, I don't want my group or make a judgment on anybody's affordability. I know that it's a common term to say that we're affordable, but me coming from the background that I did, I wouldn't necessarily at some point in my life, or even if I was a single mom, to say that this product is 100% affordable, because it would be something that I could do without. So I'm always making sure that in my group, I am at least once a month or even more, try to find a way to throw a sale that would make it even more affordable for those occasions, because I want all women to feel included in making sure that they are able to wear these nails. So I have some women that only ever buy during a sale. And
I'm going to ask you, I'm like, is that training? Because I think that's a very, very valid point. It isn't affordable to everyone.
Right.
Even though they're like $11 to $14, but that's not, we can't say for someone else. So, but yeah, has that affected, do you feel like you have people that only wait for your sales?
I do, but it's only a handful of people. So I'm really fine with, and I even reach out to them and say, hey, I'm throwing a sale this weekend. So then if I know that I need a goal, if I have a goal to reach, because I typically do my girls' game night towards the second to the last week of the month. So I kind of know how to gauge my sales. So if I don't need a ton of sales to make my goal for the month, then I'm not going to do a huge special. But if I need a ton of sales, I might do a huge special just to make it, just to be more attractive. But I still try to make sure that those ladies always feel like they can at least get one set a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I know that seems, I know some people don't do sales at all. They that's fine. But when I look at, or even when I do bulk orders, I definitely offer the free shipping and tax, because if one person wants to buy one, by the time they do shipping and tax, it's $17 for one set of nails. So I just keep that in the back of my mind as far as making sure that goes across the board. I have 400 and some ladies in my group. So
Awesome.
There's literally just a handful of them that will only buy during a sale. And I know their situation, so I know why that's
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So also, like, making sure that we're not we are paying attention to the commitments that we make online too. So I'm trying to make, if I have a live that I'm supposed to be a part of, or if I have prizes to give away, make those all in a timely manner. Make sure that you're always on time. And when you are on live, being positive and upbeat. You and I just talked about this, how you can go on in your sweatpants and your hair up and no makeup on, and that's cool a lot of the times, but also just making sure that sometimes you also look presentable, because I was reflecting on this and I was looking at I was scrolling through my photos on my VIP page, and I noticed that I was getting there was a couple of weeks where I looked exhausted, and I have a 2-year-old and he doesn't sleep sometimes. I have a 6-year-old. He doesn't sleep either. They take turns on not sleeping. So I was like, oh my gosh, I look terrible. So I want to make sure that I'm also being presentable, because people, like in a boutique, they hire people based on their knowledge of fashion so that they are able to give you advice on whatever it is. And if I look like a hobo half the time, or the majority of the time, how much input are they going to get from me as far as oh my gosh, you should try this nail, or you should try that, or whatever. So I try to make sure that I'm still presentable most of the time. Sometimes I come on and say, hey, Makai didn't sleep last night. This is what you guys get today. But I'm still on time, and I still
appreciate the real life.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I do think you need to have some professionalism in there too, and just making sure you don't look like just exhausted, like this business is draining you,
Right. Exactly.
That's a good point.
Also, so knowing your customers too. So I offer extra services. So this is kind of where it gets more boutique-ish. So for example, for Valentine's Day, I have it right here. I put together these little gift bags, and it has accent nails, cuticle pusher, glass nail file, a buffer, and a set of nails. And I offer to send this to a galentine or to a friend or to whatever. And I also do this for our foundation sets as well. If you know somebody who's affected by heart health and needs a pick-me-up, I can throw one of those nail sets in here. And if they're not particularly a fan of that particular nail set, any set they want, and I can send this as a gift to your friend for a pick-me-up. Especially, I get a lot of business through that for Breast Cancer Awareness Month for sure. So sending off those gifts to other people. I've had husbands that text me on the side and say, hey, I want to get a gift certificate for my wife for Christmas. How do you do that? I obviously take the money up front, and I say how many sets that's good for, and I have a list of ladies that I will deduct the sets from. But I offer gift wrapping of the gift certificate, so then that way the husband, who doesn't most likely will just hand her a piece of paper, it's now a gift wrap present.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Slow down, because I love so much. Hold up your little package, because this is a great nugget. Hold up your Valentine's Day pack.
Okay, sure. I was just looking at your time, so I'm making sure.
You're good. You're good. We can go over a little.
Okay.
Yeah. So, first of all, what is that? What size of bag is that?
This is I just sent it to somebody. I think a 6x9. I want to say maybe even a 9. I'll have to look it up.
It probably is. That looks like a 6x9, because the nails are about 5x7 ish.
Yeah. Yep. So they're on Amazon. I got 100 of them for $14. If I do nail deliveries, I still put them in this cute little bag, because then they take them with them. They carry them with them, or their nail supplies in them. I have one lady who's super in love with the bags, and every time I drop one off, she's like, oh yay, I was running out of room in this bag. So she has several. And then I just put this is a Valentine set, the Crush Hour.
Yeah.
The glass nail files, $12 for 20 or something crazy like that.
I get those too. I love them.
Yes. And this is my favorite cuticle pusher. It's from Sally's. It's 69 cents or something like that a piece.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's a little bit nicer than the ones on Amazon, because the pusher is actually a lot more
substantial.
Yeah, it's more pliable too, so it's more rubbery than the plasticky.
Nice.
And then I did we've seen the Valentine earrings on. Those are really affordable. Mm-hmm. These little buffer blocks, I believe you can get 100 of them for $9 or something crazy. So and then obviously I get the ones that match the set that's in there, so they can already have fun with their manicure and some prep pads. So that's
so fun. And that is very boutique, because the thing about boutiques is that it's all about presentation, and it's all about the extra mile. And so for you, it's you're putting it in this fun, beautiful little, what are those bags? What do you call those bags?
The mesh bags? I don't know.
Oh,
You mean at the boutiques?
no, the bag you have right now.
Yeah.
Organza, right? Isn't it organza bags? Anyway, the little drawstring organza bag. She's putting them all together, like you just feel like you're getting spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And I love that you're doing it for the foundation sets too. Because I feel like sometimes women, and especially that it's an option to buy for someone else, because women often don't want to buy. I feel like a lot of women don't like to buy things for themselves, but when someone else, or it's for their daughters or their mothers or their sisters or their friends, like they'll drop a wad, you know?
Agreed.
So that's genius. And it's just like, I love that. That definitely makes someone feel so spoiled.
It does. And I've gotten a lot of feedback, especially, like I said, the breast cancer ones. And a lot of times women can't even wear the nails yet because they're still going through whatever process they're going through, and they're not allowed to wear the polishes, but they're so excited just about the pampering part of it too, because even women that are going through some of these things typically just need to pick me up in general. So I love doing that.
Have you had a good response to that? Because I offered something similar in past Valentine's, and my response, I didn't have as good of a response with my customers. But again, that's the thing. Every VIP group is different. So I'm curious how yours has, but my packaging was different too. It was just in a card, whereas yours feels like a gift bag kind of thing.
Right. I did these this month. I did them first as grab bags, and then the customers that received them as a mystery grab bag put them online. So then I got a response because of the advertising of other people receiving them and talking about how great they were. So I haven't. Then I thought, well, I should probably
share them on social media, right?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Okay, just
in my VIP group.
Put them online doesn't mean they were like selling.
Oh yes, no, yeah, sorry. On my closed VIP group. Yeah, sorry, closed VIP group.
Just since we're getting like technical, everything she's talking about is in your VIP group. This isn't shared publicly because you can't do public offers. But so this is all VIP group stuff that's in a closed, private Facebook group.
So let's change the name. Treat your VIP group like a boutique.
Yes, amen to that. So people are asking tons of questions. Hang on.
Sure.
So they did say lots of people are saying it's probably a 6x9 bag. What do you charge for, those kind of bags? How much would you charge for something like that?
So this is the spoiling part that gets into, for me, my VIP group is literally called Nicole's V.ery I.mportant Polishers. They're literally my VIPs. So a lot of times when I do things like this, I let them know, and I'm very upfront, that sometimes I'm not making money off of this deal. This one, sometimes I do grab bags for $20, and then Ashley made a good point in one of her trainings that sometimes you can even diversify them and say 2 sets for $25 and just make it so that it's they can upgrade to a bigger bag or a more expensive bag. But this particular one I did because of I haven't spoiled my VIPs in a while, so it just depends on that too. This grab bag was $15. The last grab bag I did was $18, and plus I just switched over to pirate ship, so I'm saving $2 on shipping now too. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Now Nicole on to talk about pirate ship.
Whole other conversation.
Okay.
But before, when I was paying $4+ for shipping, then my grab bags were a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
So this particular one I did for $15 because I get all of this stuff in bulk, and then I just have it. So that I'm able to just, whenever I feel like doing a grab bag, I can just pull from all my little stashes and then just create something. But like I said, they're all in bulk. So this particular one, like I said, $15, but I've gone upwards to $20 as far as a grab bag. And then the option to upgrade in some cases.
Options to upgrade are brilliant. We went to Mexico this month, and they were always, all those little vendors on like the beach and stuff, they were always trying to get us to upgrade. And I'm like, they are genius sales.
Yes.
Like, I was like, well, do you want to buy 2? And I was like, maybe. Like,
Right.
like, so always offering an upgrade is brilliant. Just had to throw that in there, that little sales tip right there.
Yes. Yes. Especially if you haven't been in sales before, but you take your experiences from what you know from your previous working experiences and then you turn that into that. I waited tables 16 years. No, you don't want aristocrat. You want Grey Goose. Like you don't, always try to find your way to do an upgrade as well.
Yeah.
Throughout different aspects of your life, but that it doesn't always have to be salesy. It could just be a good deal.
Well, and a couple things I wanted to mention. So, one, regarding the name of the group, I love the name of your group. But then I recently changed the name of my group to Francie Pants Nails Boutique because I wanted people to know this is a place where you buy stuff. Like,
right.
I wanted them to know this isn't like where we're chit chatting and blah, blah. I mean, we still do that stuff, right? But like, so that's just another idea. Is like you can, and not necessarily you, Nicole, because I love your name, but like. So viewers, considering naming your group like a boutique, because then people know. I mean, I'm in lots of like clothing boutique groups on Facebook.
Right.
I know, like I'm there to spend money. You know what I mean? So that's one thought I had, and then I had another one, but I lost it. But we are getting lots of comments here really quick that everyone's saying pirateship.com rocks. So everyone's going off on that tangent. And then someone said this would be a cool thing to do for Mother's Day, offer to send them as Mother's Day gifts too, which is a great idea. And then someone said, well, first of all, I want to know what you call those. Do you call them grab bags? Do you call because even names is a big, like the way you name things, like this is what I learned in photography. The way you name things and like talk about the experience can make it feel more fancy and make you and add more value. And that's the thing, is when people feel like they're getting more value, they're willing to spend more. So the fact that you're, adding this organza bag and just a couple little add-ins, that makes it feel like a much more valuable thing.
Right.
And what I was doing, where it was just like I had like a little card, they would slip it in, and but you're adding like even more value, so then people are willing to pay more,
Right. And I wouldn't recommend people just starting out last month to sell one of those bags for $15.
Yeah. You work, girl.
Yes, I get sets for free through cash-in parties, and then also, some of the other things I've worked up, the accent nails and things like that. I've worked up to be able to do that. I didn't do that in the beginning, so I don't want anyone to think, oh my gosh, she's really just giving them away, basically. But that you can get away with selling them for more. But this I would just be called like a gift pack or something like that. But when I was doing the grab bags earlier in the month of January, when we first got our Valentine sets, and they were mystery grab bags, they didn't know what they were going to get, so I just called them grab bags at the time. But you're right, that's something I can consider moving forward, is changing the names of them to be more presentable, for sure.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, let me just test this out on you guys. So here's an example. So there's like grab bag, which sounds like just mediocre. And then swag bag, like that sounds a little like you've like gone up a level. Anyway, to me, I'm a word nerd, and like names sometimes make a difference. So so you can like mix it up regarding wording.
That's awesome. So just a couple more points really fast. So one of the other things is doing orders for people. They really feel like I get text messages, and they'll just be literally a text with 4 sets on them. And I just know that they already know. All I have to do is just go into the back office, add them to my VIP party as a guest, throw their order on. They end up paying. I pay with my card. They pay me PayPal or whatever other way. I have a lady in upstate New York who has been with me for probably 13 months or so. And she is one of my more mature people. Her name is Miss Connie. She's a grandmother. She doesn't get the tech stuff at all, So she always needs me to place an order for her. And the very first time that I did a bulk order, she was a VIP, she wanted in, but she was like, I don't have all those things. Can I send you a check? And I was very weary, of course. You want to be very weary about anybody that sends you a check. But I thought by the time I get the bulk order in, I should receive the check. And after that first clearance, I don't do this for everybody, but for Miss Connie, I know that her checks are good. And every time I get them, we're okay. So I've been doing this for her for like 10 plus months. And then she's an assistant at a school in upstate New York. And she finally was like, I want a party, but I'm not going to be doing all that tech stuff. So just whatever, as long as you can do that for me, I'm fine. So I did all of her party because she's such a sweet lady all over her school. She did $700 and some dollars in her party, $749 in her party. So we go to close it out, and she was like, now, Nicole, I don't, know what I'm doing. So I closed it out for her. She just sent me her 16 sets on, through a text message. And then she's like, well, what do I owe you? And it was like $3 or something. I was like, lady, you just made me a lot of money. So don't worry about the $3. She ends up, because I'm building all these relationships with my people, she sends me a $15 Starbucks gift card and says, I wish we could meet in person for coffee, but here you go. So just building those boutique-y relationships and knowing your customers when they, like, if you were in a brick and mortar, they walk in, you know their name, you know their size, you know what they like, you go straight for it. You give them a call when something comes in that you know that they like. Yes. It's kind of the same concept working there. So
I'm glad you mentioned this part, because I know for me, even if you know how to do techie stuff, I feel like people more and more want things to be easy, and like going online and like picking out what you want and then checking out and typing in your address and blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. And when you're a busy woman, like, it's just one extra thing. But if it's like, oh, I can text a picture of the nails I want to, nail girl, that makes it so easy. And like, I know for me, I buy like makeup from a makeup rep, and I have never done it on my own. I'm always like, no, I want you to hold my hand. Like, you order it, because ain't nobody got time to order. Like, you know what I mean? So I think that's something to definitely like mention and remind your customers that that's an option, that you will go in and do their order for them.
Right.
Love that you said that. And we're almost out of time, but everybody's commenting with names for the bags, so I have to share these.
Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
They're saying glam bag, which I love.
Oh, yes.
And then someone said boutique bags, which is genius. So those are both really fun ways to mix up, and you can like alternate those names. And I had another idea, is you could even do like glam bag of the month or boutique bag of the month. You know what I mean? You can have like a specific theme bag that you offer or whatever. But anyway, I love all these ideas, Nicole. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else you were going to?
The one very last thing is that this also helps with recruiting. Everybody asks me how I'm able to recruit. And I just wanted to say, treating your business like this, I have a percentage. 37% of my direct enrollees were VIPs of mine for more than a month before they joined. So getting that treatment and understanding the fun and putting all of that in and treating them like you would want to be treated has kind of stepped outside of the box of what direct sales is really about. And a lot of people are really scared to join because of what that seems to be. But if you're showing them a different way, or you're showing them how it should be, then most likely they'll take the plunge. So that was just my last little
good point. Yes, so true. Well, because you build a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because you've shown them that I'm going to take care of you, whether you're a customer or whether you join my team, I'm going to take care of you.
Right.
And so that's an extremely good point. So yeah, I love this mindset of making it more of a boutique experience. I think even just like thinking about your group like that, your customers like that, it kind of like changes, like, okay, maybe I need to like send thank yous quicker, or send thank yous at all. Or whatever it is that I'm sure we're all thinking of things that we're like, I could probably step it up a notch in this. And so having that kind of like boutique mindset, I think will help a lot. I know it's already, I'm like getting excited about it too.
I know. Now I'm expanding with all these new ideas.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you so much, Nicole. This was so great. And thanks everyone for hopping on, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.